Good morning and welcome to Politics and Business Television. Of course, this is the P&B morning show. My name is Omike Joseph Matthew. It is the 23rd day in the month of March 2026. And of course, it is the first working day after the Salah break right here in Nigeria. My two colleagues are already here in the studio with me. And let me quickly introduce them to you. Chidi is here, and of course, Ibrahim Shaibu is also here in the studio. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, OJ.
Good morning, Mr. OJ. Good morning, viewers.
And good morning, Mr. Shaibu. Welcome back from your Salah trip. And I hope you brought some Salah stuff.
Of course, you should expect that.
I should expect that. Okay, I will hold you responsible.
Don't worry about that. You're good to go.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Good morning, viewers. Once again, welcome to Politics and Business Television. And OJ, how was your own Salah trip?
Yes, it was a wonderful one. Long, weekend, as you say.
It's written all over your face, OJ.
Yeah, you can see with a new face, shining face, and all that. I believe you enjoyed those 5 days.
Yes, of course. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And yes, it is the P&B morning show. And today we'll be diving into two major issues that raise serious concern that Nigeria's direction and about Nigeria's direction and our collective responsibility as a nation. Now, first, Nigeria is set to receive deported criminals and failed asylum seekers from the United Kingdom. This development raises tough questions. Are we prepared to absorb them? And what does this mean for our already strained security and economy? Is this a fair partnership, or are we taking on more than we can handle? And secondly, the disturbing events from Delta State, now described as by many as a festival of sexual violence, have shocked the nation. Videos of women being harassed and assaulted in broad daylight force us to confront a painful truth about safety, culture, and accountability in our society. So two different issues, but one common theme: responsibility. From government's decision to community actions. Who is protecting Nigerians? This will surely be what we'll be discussing today on the program. So we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, we'll of course dive into the segment, the newspaper review. Stay with us. All right, so welcome back to the program, the P&B Morning Show on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Yes, it is the newspaper review right now, and let's quickly dive into it without wasting time. Our very first issue of the morning is the Punch newspaper with this, banner headline: Makinde meets Kwankwaso as PDP reconciliation falters. Makinde meets Kwankwaso as PDP reconciliation falters. 27 strategy. And gentlemen, what do you make of this headline this morning?
Well, as we approach the 2027 general election, these are the kind of stuff we expect. Because if you remember, just a few weeks ago, we were discussing similar issues. I said, if the PDP are unable to reconcile themselves and works a workable framework within which they can now come out to be a very strong opposition party, we'll see a lot of calculations taking place. We'll see a lot of realignment and realignment and realignment. We'll see a lot of strategies being put in place. And I think this is one of such strategies. This is also expected. And you see, for now, Kwankwaso seems to be the bride after everybody's heart. Just the day before yesterday, I saw him with Peter Obi. And then all about 1 million followers, I think, with their red card are saying Obi Kwankwaso, Obi Kwankwaso. And then today we are seeing in the paper that Makinde is also trying to establish another new form of romance between him and Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso seems to be the hot cake for now. And what I see here is with the PDP now becoming down, I think the strongest opposition we are going to see in place is most probably the ADC as a political party. Just like my friend behind the desk stated, because the party seems to be very unpredictable for now.
Yeah.
But the ruling party is very, very predictable. We can always suggest, we can always think what are its next step, especially with the number of people that are trying to become, either from the senators or from the House of Reps or from state governors decamping to the party. We know the calculations already. Although there are still some things that are not revealed to the fore, even from the APC. So these are expectations, even apart from the, what do you call it, from Makinde. So many other strategies are in place, and we'll see them as we go towards 2027.
Chidi.
Yes, I want to also, like I said, align myself with Malam Ibrahim Shaibu, but I want to differ a bit or rather I want to add more by saying that this political season, where we see a lot of conspiracy going on. You know, at some point we saw 9 senators defecting to ADC. Now we are going to see more. Because the primaries is on the 24th of April, I think so. Yes, and after the primaries, of course, those who are aggrieved, they definitely will go probably shift base, you know, which is what we are, used to when it comes to this our political, terrain here in Nigeria. So we expect to see more. It's conspiracies. It's political season, OJ.
Conspiracy or alignment.
Conspiracy.
These are real things we are seeing. Are these conspiracy?
Why I said conspiracy, I still maintain the word.
I think I agree with him because it is the conspiracies and the deceptions and the hypocrisy that always
these are things that
characterize.
Yes, these are things that characterize politics, OJ. Sometimes I act as if I'm with you. I'm not with you. Or to interest you that political parties plan stooge to each other. I can plant you in a party and make you go there, buy a phone, pick up a phone, not because you want to contest and win, but you just to destabilize the party.
All right.
So these are the things we are going to be seeing.
Okay, okay, fine. You see now, Kwankwaso, I've been Makinde meeting Kwankwaso also yesterday and trying to see whether their courtship can work. Let me put it that way: their political courtship can work. Now, Makinde's remark yesterday suggested that the PDP reconciliation may not hold because he said he was in a meeting where Wiki insisted that Bola Tinubu would be the person the PDP
will adopt as a candidate.
So and this is a person who is also nursing for that position, the presidency, talking about Makinde. So you can see why the Punch newspaper is saying reconciliation falters.
Exactly.
So with this one alone, somebody, the Makinde camp may, because of that alone, may not, at the end of the day, reconcile with the
Wiki faction. This is exactly what the statement implies, actually, because Makinde has been nursing the presidential ambition for a long time, and here we have Wiki telling them that the PDP will not present any candidate for the presidency. They will rather adopt the incumbent as their candidate. So I know, even at the word go, that's what I meant when I say they have to reconcile. Do you understand? And Wiki still being in PDP, both you and I knew that there was not going to be any presidential candidate, even before he stated here clearly. So I think these are some of the things, and then many people will start also shifting ground because of that, because there are other people that are thinking, nursing the ambition to become governors under their political parties in that state. Although such a romance will not even deter them from participating on the gubernatorial platform, but it will weaken their political structure. So as a result of that, Makinde will go with a long chunk of the PDP loyalists to wherever he's going. That's what I see.
Okay, let me also add that Makinde and Bala Mohammed are also together. Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State.
Yes.
They are together. And secondly, if you look at the trend, I want to believe allegedly that Wike also it's not an ambition to become the president 2031. So I want to see the idea of the exchange of baton from Buhari to Tinubu, and probably from Tinubu to Wike. I'm saying that allegedly. And probably because one will begin to wonder why Wike will be held bent on supporting the incumbent. He doesn't hide it, even though he's a member of PDP, as it were. But you see him go playing the card of the APC, which normally is an anti-party exercise.
Exactly.
And but if it is where we practice real democracy, Wike should be expelled from the political party because he's obviously playing the anti-party, game. obviously. So, but you see, I want to believe that the exchange of baton, allegedly, is what is playing out, because you might interest you to know that 2031, you begin to see his posters everywhere.
Yes, but there's this gentleman agreement within the Nigerian political current that power shifts from north to south. And in 2021, we expect all the political parties to field candidates, I think, from the north. In fact, that is why the agitation now for northerners to say Tinubu should come in from the south. People like Erufai fought tirelessly towards achieving this. Because whatever political party you are coming from, there's this gentleman agreement within the political party actors that power should return after every 8 years. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So seeing that, even if Wike is not seeing presidential ambition for now, I don't think it should be up against 2031.
Yeah, but because in 2031, the North want to clinch to power, and the part of the North that want to clinch the power is even not central.
It's not central.
It's even not central. So the issue of where Wike, it's not a time for that. But we don't see that.
We are just looking forward.
Political objections, but we are looking at in as much as we want to respect this gentlemanly agreement, that has to do with zoning and the rest of them. It will interest you to know that it can be changed.
It's not constitutional.
It's not constitutional.
But then again, it is a very strong agreement that every political actor wants to respect. You understand? They go out of their way
to encourage national unity,
even play anti-party activity because of the particular gentleman agreement. Otherwise, there will be there will be anarchy. Yes, there will be anarchy. People like even me personally. That is why I was for a candidate coming from the southern part of Nigeria. I'm a strong proponent for Erufai when he was saying, no, should not present any candidate unless that candidate is from the south. Because these are the kind of things, already we are very volatile when it comes to religion. Do you understand? And if care is not taken, if we say we can keep on playing both the religion and the regional and the tribal policy in our policy, it's going to be a very, very dirty affair for us. There are certain things, even though are not constitutional, we want to respect them as both Nigerians. For peace,
for national peace,
for national peace to be ensured.
Okay, so let's continue with some of the headlines. On the Punch newspaper, recapitalization 1 week to deadline. Banks in last-minute rush. Airlines under pressure after jet fuel price surges 100%. State police governors move to submit proposal to NAS. Governors move to submit proposal to National Assembly. Terrorism. Tinubu brokers French military assistance deal. Tinubu brokers French military assistance deal. Now, gentlemen, let's quickly look at this this headline. The presidency released statement yesterday concerning this, that President Tinubu spoke with Emmanuel Macron of France, and a deal has been brokered. France will, be selling some military equipment now to Nigeria, blah blah blah, and all that. Do you guys trust the French guys?
Not at all. Not at all. Because although the headline says French military assistance deal, this thing goes beyond assistance. It also goes into advice. Do you understand? They will also give you advice that this is what you're supposed to do, this is what not you're supposed to do concerning security. And these are the kind of weapons you need to fight this terrorism. Do you understand? But when you look at it, if you are a true African, you know that all those Francophone African countries are the ones that are most destabilized. The French sucks its colonial Africa, Francophone Africa, through bringing insurgency and crisis within the regions with a view to rape their resources. French is the most brutal of all the colonialists. I'm telling you that. Britain seems to be a little bit softer, and the Americans, when they come, they will show you frankly that this is what they are after. But France always want to hook you for a long time sucking of the resources, and they always do that and get away with it. Just look at Africa.
So do you fear that this deal the presidency is having now with France?
Of course,
I see that happening.
I was just looking at Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu when he was talking, and I was let me come in from another angle. The French country, as we all know, is one of the world powers when it comes to military might among the G8 or so. Now, let me say this. All the countries being colonized by French are not doing well. Most of them. They're not doing well economically in the sense that if most of them have their central bank domiciled in France. So France is not a country I think I want to see as a role model when it comes to things like this. Now we have the US Army in Nigeria. And after they came, we still have bombings and killings of Nigerian soldiers and even children.
They are not here to fight.
Yes,
they've made it
but
clear
least-
that their presence does
I
not
know.
mean that things cannot still be happening.
Is France coming to fight?
France is, according to the statement, that they want to sell equipment to you. So
Sell. So now you're looking at, you see,
So what do you
see,
This is dangerous.
but I'm coming. You're talking about selling equipment here. You see, they are not coming to help us. They are coming to do business.
somebody selling equipment to you now? Were
army
you
is
not
brought
here?
out in
Were you
public.
not? I think we on was
Did
it on,
America
was
sell
it on
equipment?
Friday? Hello, I mean, hold on. On Friday, we talked about a report that came out that the African continent is the least continent that got arms, arms sales amongst the 6 continents of the world. The least.
The list, exactly.
And because of this, it is dangerous for African countries fighting terrorism. Are you getting it? The least. Some countries in Europe, the arms sales they get, and the assistance and sales they get is more than the entire African
Do you
continent.
know what is even happening?
So, with this kind of deal, that France is willing to sell arms to Nigeria now and all that, would this not aid in fighting this insurgency that we
Is it only France that we can buy arms from?
But at least France has
Let me tell
agreed.
you something.
America is there.
China is also there.
Good. They are
And China has been a very
America.
good Nigerian friend to Nigeria.
And yesterday we had reports that Americans are willing to send 200 drones for surveillance purposes.
OJ, you see, when I hear these laudable initiatives and support and programs, I'm not in a hurry to clap.
Exactly.
I'm not in a hurry to clap. We've had some of these things reported on the front of the news and the newspapers. At the end of the day, on ground, we're not seeing anything. OJ, the almighty $1 billion that was signed between the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari for the Tucana jet and the rest of them. What happened?
Tucana jets were bought.
But what is it today? What is it?
No, you will go and find out. They were bought. They were supplied.
I understand.
So,
of what effect is it?
Let
I'm
me
coming. No, OJ.
Yeah.
Of what effect is it? We are losing men every time. Up till now, what has changed? What has improved?
Let me make a
Soldiers are dying. Theater commanders, brigadiers are dying.
but those equipments were supplied.
What use?
No, that is you.
Somebody supplying drones.
You go and ask the defense headquarters.
Somebody wants to drive it. Somebody is supplying drones, and we are here when somebody said, "Don't worry, there will be enough drones to inspect the elections." He didn't say to fight Boko Haram. Were you not here?
You know one
So
thing.
what are we saying?
You see,
OJ?
all these sales.
So I'm not in a hurry to clap for anybody.
I agree with you. I'm with you 100%. You see, all these talks about European countries or the superpowers selling arms to Africa or the third world. You see, in the first place, buying arms is not like buying any other stuff from another country. In the first place, it has to be allocated. That government that is going to sell you those arms have to allocate, make an allocation to you that these are the arms that I'm going to sell to you.
And further depleting
And
our
then-
economy.
Exactly. And then these are the terms and conditions of the sales of these arms to you. That is why anytime an African country, particularly Africa, I'm not saying third world countries, because when we say third world countries or developing countries, there are a lot of Asians and Eastern
Haiti
Europe
and the
countries
rest of
also
them.
involved. I'm now particularly making reference to Africa. Whenever the Europeans want to sell arms to Africa, they always sell to Africa arms that cannot actually serve their purpose. Do you understand? Because
They
they
will
want
expire them.
and that expired things
Outdated.
that have not been using, they built it maybe 40, 50 years back and they are no longer in use. But they want to now sell it for you so that they will now keep
Clear
installing.
their house.
Just like,
the
when Iran,
warehouse.
just like when Iran is fighting US, Israel, they said they are now using their stockpile that have been there for the last 30, 40 years. They haven't yet started using their newest arms. You understand? So this is what is happening. France telling us that come, I will sell you arms, means come, I will sell you my dilapidated, outdated. I'm telling you,
Come and
equipment.
clear my storage
I
house.
want your money.
No, let me help you,
Nigeria
sir.
is very rich.
Come and clear the store.
Why are they
Yeah,
not
am I
helping
correct, sir?
us? Eh?
Come and clear the store for me.
Exactly. Come and clear the store for me. I have new product I want to put in place. That's just what they are telling us. And then again, see, unless we Africans start thinking to defend ourselves by ourselves, unless we Africans start thinking about becoming independent in so many aspects, we will continuously remain slaves for the Europeans. This is what is happening.
Okay.
See Iran. Iran were able to secretly, quietly make themselves to be what they are today. Even if the war ends today, and then America wins the war, at least Iran is able to show to the world that, look, we are to be respected by the world. Isn't it? What we are seeing now playing. Definitely, that is because they have taken the initiative by themselves to use what they have, their previous arms, to now unveil them and see the technology involved, and then do it by themselves. French, do you know that 80% of French scientists, Iranian scientists and technology are women? They sponsor women to school more than they sponsor men. 80% of all those that are making all these initiatives are women. If you go to the nuclear facilities, those people, that women that are doing wonders in medicine, in engineering, and in science are mostly women. 80% are women. Men are only constitute the management staff, and then those who give the direction and call the shots.
So, in essence, what you are saying is that we should go into arms manufacturing too.
Exactly. It's about time.
Let's
get the technology. Software technology, transfer of knowledge is what we require. It's not transfer of outdated.
But Mr. Shaibu, you should know that.
You understand?
You should know that,
there
Mr.
are
Shaibu.
countries in Asia that are willing to give us this transfer of knowledge.
Mr. Shaibu, I agree we should go into look inwards to manufacture, but you see, some of these things have regulations internationally.
No, exactly. There's nothing wrong with you manufacturing your own weapon.
There's nothing wrong, but your guys are you know that in Africa.
We are not saying let's go nuclear. We are saying let's get
the nuclear. You can manufacture your
basic arms. I hope you know it's a part of the country that people can. Of course, we've seen. I've seen locally made guns.
Of course,
in Nigeria.
We are talking about real mechanized guns. There's nothing. The military, the Nigerian military, is into that now. Gradually, but not up to that level that we really need. So even the former police commissioner Lawrence Alobi, said that look, the report that came out that African countries are actually lagging behind when it comes to arms sales to the continent has opened the window for African countries to begin to think inward that we should start manufacturing our own kind of weapons and all that, like you said. So let's move on, please. So from the Punch now, we'll go now to our next paper under review, the blueprint this morning. Insecurity. France ready to support Nigeria with military equipment. Tinubu. This is what we've just been discussing. And the writer says we won't allow insecurity overshadow efforts at helping the vulnerable. Directs governors to provide incentives on fuel crisis, transportation. Together, we must see to the end of our security challenges, NGF. So these are some of the writers under that story. Convention. APC screens national office aspirants Tuesday. APC screens national office aspirant Tuesday. So they'll start selling their nomination forms from tomorrow, according to reports reaching us. Middle East tension. Citizens beg FG for intervention as fuel, food, others prices soar. Citizens beg federal government for intervention as fuel, food, other prices soar.
Dangerous friends.
Honestly. Security rescue.
And this situation is about to get even worse because the Houthis from Yemen are now saying by next week they'll be fully involved in the war. And when they do, they'll be also controlling the only outlet now available for the movement of oil globally. That is the Bab el-Mandab that I talk about, which is very closer to them and Egypt. They are saying that once Saudi Arabia and UAE decide to come into the war in support of America and Israel, they will also come in fully participate in the war. And their first point of call will be the blockage of the Bab el-Mandeb. It's another strait to the right of the
Strait of Hormuz.
Strait of Hormuz. And then you see, once this happens now, the situation will become, prices will escalate worse than what it is today.
All this is happening because we as a country did not prepare for this moment.
Exactly, because
we didn't prepare for this moment because other countries have prepared for this for
They've
this
gone
eventuality.
ahead.
Yes. I was watching TRT news, TRT television yesterday, this Turkish television. They were talking about Dangote refinery.
Yes.
That it's about time that Dangote refinery should be able to cater for the need of Africa. And Dangote cannot be able to do that.
No, that's what Dangote is doing now. South Africa and other countries have made
Kenya and Ghana.
You understand? And Ghana, including even South Africa. And Dangote is now exporting.
Exactly.
It's making more money.
I want him to take care of the domestic need first, honestly speaking, because this is how we can show to Nigerian that he's a patriotic Nigerian. Do you understand?
Well,
when your country, when the whole world's in a crisis and you are able to help, first help home first. Do you understand? So I want to see a situation whereby he can refine, at least you should be able to provide 60% of the domestic need of Nigerians' petroleum resources.
Then you should also talk to your government to sell crude to him, because now the NNPC, as far as they are concerned, they want to cash in on the price,
crisis,
yes, on the crisis, and sell crude to the international market. And Dangote will now go to international market and buy crude that you want him to feed domestic.
So this is why we'll call Mr. President to know what to do actually, because he's the only person in the right position now to call their attention to serve the citizen. Dangote is ready to do that, but then he needs the support of the presidency. That's just my advice for that.
Okay, so we move on. We move on this morning, and which paper do we have under review? Okay, yes, let's move on from the blueprint. I think we've seen enough. The Vanguard is next. State police governors split as insecurity worsens nationwide. Governors split as insecurity worsens nationwide. U.S.-Iran encounter threats over Straits of Hormuz. U.S.-Iran encounter threats over Straits of Hormuz. Check that story on page 32 of the Vanguard newspaper. Blackouts. NLC wants urgent overhaul of power sector. NLC wants urgent overhaul of power sector. Now, the writer of the story, Sixth Single Energy Ministry insists on no blackout for Genco, or bailout, I beg your pardon, for Genco discos as power crisis deepens. UK expands detention capacity to speed up deportations. UK expands detention capacity to speed up deportations. Check that out on page 9. And Uzoro Festival assault, Remi Tinubu, Ezekwesili, Naptib, others demand justice. Remi Tinubu, Ezekwesili, Naptib, others demand justice. And this will form part of what we'll be discussing this morning on the program. And looking at the other sector of the economy, public-private sector leaders are set to play lead roles, talking about the Vanguard Economic Summit coming up shortly. And so public-private sector leaders set to play lead role. Okay. And that's it on the Vanguard this morning. Let's move to our next paper on the review. The Guardian is up next, and it has this banner headline: Eyes on insurance sector as banks survive recapitalization, liquidation. Eyes on insurance sector as banks survive recapitalization, liquidation. ADC, Imo, Lagos, Rivers, Zamfara pledge loyalty to Mark's leadership. Imo, Lagos, Rivers, Zamfara pledge loyalty to Mark's leadership. Now, Ken, it appears that ADC is beginning to have crack gradually, because there is a faction who are not in support of David Mark's leadership. So is this a sign of crack as 2027 is coming on now?
I was privileged to go through the news yesterday, and I discovered that even APC, the spokesperson or the secretary as well, APC came out to say that they have no hands in what is going on in ADC now, and that everybody should respect the rule of law. And in my thinking, I was asking, why would somebody come and cry foul when
nobody
asks you to cry for it, and it's not even, it has nothing to do with your party. Some of these things, like I said, some of these political parties are predictable, and this thing has always been the style of political play in Nigeria. When it's closer to election time like this, you begin to see stooge, start popping up. At some point at the earlier stage, you see them behaving as though they are party members, party loyalists. But towards the end, close to the party, you start seeing somebody coming out to say, "Oh, I was the original chairman of this." It happens in Labour Party, and some of these things these are infight, not just infight. Some of this infighting are planted and masterminded by the other party. just to weaken the strength of that party. You know, it's part of all the kind of political shenanigans that we see in this country. Now, after the elections, you will not see all these things. But once it's getting close to election, you begin to see this infighting. And these infightings are not, like I said, they are not created by the party members. They are fake party members planted by the other party.
To cause disunity and what have you.
Yes.
Because just yesterday when I was coming, there are some discussions going on. Just like you said, there are people that are thinking that the ruling party has a hand in it. Of course, they can think as such because of the role Wike has played and is still playing. And it's not surprising if such thing comes, the idea comes from the ruling party, although they have clearly absorbed themselves from doing that. But it's not surprising. And then I don't see this
even when they were not asked to absorb themselves.
Exactly. But then I don't see this as if it is going to directly affect the strength of the ADC as a political party, because mass integrity and personality in Nigerian politics is enormous. You have already seen about 7 states are now saying they are solidly behind him. And before the week runs, and you will see that the greater majority of the party will still come back and support.
That's why the party is staying focused.
Exactly. The party is focused.
It refused to be derailed, it refused to be distracted.
Even though some of his best friends are still under detention and so have been forced into silence, but still, ADC has a very good plan and direction. That's why they are still not making a lot of noise.
Like I said earlier on, not even the noise.
Exactly.
ADC seems to be unpredictable. I'm not holding brief for them, but if you look at their style, because the whole political brouhaha going on within the party is just to try to open them up to unveil their strategy. And if you see the way they are going, nobody seems to be predictable. And that's one of its kind I've seen in recent time. Unlike before, you can predict what the opposition party is going to do. Everything is predictable, but now nobody can tell.
The only thing you will hear about ADC is that so person has decamped to APC. That is just it. They don't speak out about their strategies. They don't speak out of their internal democracy working within the party and mechanism. They are just mute. You know, remember 2 weeks ago I told you that is ADP dying? You remember I said that because you can't hear any of their activities all over the place, and that doesn't mean they have not been having their meetings. You understand? So I think I still see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not saying that power should be taken out of the incumbents, but I feel it's good.
No, it's not even in your place to say that.
What I'm saying is that we need to see multi-party democracy. We need to see a democracy whereby not only one party is at play. That's just my.
But that's the beauty of democracy in itself.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's move on and see other papers quickly. The Guardian was still with the Guardian. France to back Nigeria with military equipment after Tinubu Macron talks. 1.5 billion deal. ADC. Oye faults Tinubu's UK visit. Squandered opportunity. Okay. And of course, other interesting stories. Budget. Only 10 states have publicly accessible local government budgets. Only 10 states have publicly accessible local government budgets. So out of the 36 states, only 10 states get their budget, local government rather, in 10 states that gets their budget directly, as been suggested. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll move on to our next paper quickly. And we'll have The Nation. President, governors step up war against terrorists. Presidents, governors step up war against terrorists. Makinde, Bala Mohammed differ on way forward for PDP. Makinde, Bala Mohammed differ on way forward for PDP. Nigeria records 2.6 billion mining FDI. Nigeria records 26 billion, I beg your pardon, $26 billion mining FDI. Labour demands quick energy sector reform. And Labour demands quick energy sector reform. Lumelu urges standard support for SMEs. That's really good. 34 banks scale recapitalization hurdle. 34 banks scale recapitalization hurdle. So a week to go now, we'll find out which bank will be swallowing the other bank.
But the other bank.
and
which bank
which
will literally die.
Yeah.
I think this is the second time second major recapitalization exercise after the leadership of Soludo. And this is the next one we're seeing.
Governor, yes, this is the second
when is the CBN governor? So this is the second one.
Okay, so we'll move on from the Nation newspaper now to our next paper this day. Makinde, any PDP member with Wike is enemy of democracy. Any PDP member with Wike is enemy of democracy. With this headline, you now know that it appears the center cannot hold anymore. Exactly. The center cannot hold anymore. Exactly. That's what it means. Tinubu, Nigeria in talks with UK, France for support in fight against insecurity. Nigeria in talks with UK, France for support in fight against insecurity. Uzoro sexual assaults. I watched the horrific viral footage, says First Lady. I watched the horrific viral footage, says First Lady. US pushes headline Africa policy. Tinubu's diplomacy faces questions. Okay, that's really interesting there. Inflation targeting regime will improve transparency, accountability, credibility of monetary policy, says CBN. Inflation targeting regime will improve transparency, accountability, credibility of monetary policy, says CBN. Okay, move on from this day now to our next paper under review, perhaps our very last for the day. And let's check out which one we have. Nigerian Tribune. Kwankwaso Makinde Dixon meets in Kano. Kwankwaso Makinde Dixon meets in Kano. The writer, some writers there. Bala Muhammad Makinde meets with Dixon in Bauchi. Obi meets Kwankwaso in Kano. Disregard misleading narratives on PDP leadership. Wike-backed group tells members. Okay. Government adopt 8 worshippers during church service in Kwara. Government adopt 8 worshippers during church service in Kwara. Motorists, passengers lament as petrol pump price hits 1,380 per litre. Motorists, passengers lament as petrol pump price hits 1,380 per litre. Okay. IGP directs reduction of police tactical teams. IGP directs reduction of police tactical team. This headline actually caused a lot of controversy over the weekend, whether he has dissolved tactical teams in all police formations across the country. But only last night, the police have come out to explain what the IGP meant by that. That is reduction, because he said there is a proliferation of tactical teams all over the police formation. So supervision is very low. So some of the tactical teams take laws into their hands and do whatever they want. So now they want to reduce. They have to reduce them so that there'll be proper supervision of tactical teams and all that. So let's see how that one pans out. One thing is to make a policy statement. The other thing is for the... Okay, do we have any sporting page this morning to wrap up the show? Sporting, okay, Daily Independent. We have a whole lot of papers this morning. Daily Independent is still here. Oil price surge may reverse fragile gains in price stability. Daily Independent, we have the headline: oil price surge may reverse fragile gains in price stability. Governors push legislative overhaul to back state policing initiative. Governors push legislative overhaul to back state policing initiative. Atiku slams federal government over renewed OPL 245 legal tussle. Atiku slams FG over renewed OPL 254 legal tussle. Check that one out on page 29 of the Daily Independent. Missing 210 trillion naira. Syrup gives Akpabio 7 days to name involved officials. Syrup gives Akpabio 7 days to name involved officials. Okay. Failure to zone ADC tickets to South will hand Tinubu re-election. Failure to zone ADC tickets to South will hand Tinubu re-election. Is there any perceived notion that the ADC want to hand the ticket to a northern candidate? This could just be the issue now with ADC.
Let me come in there, OJ. You see, it's not a perceived notion per se. But if you look at the actions of some of the big wigs
in the party,
you could tell where the ambition is tilting towards.
You mean to the north?
Yes.
I don't see that happening.
I'm coming.
I have my reasons.
No, I'm not saying no. You need to also understand. Listen to me to understand where I'm going to. So you can come in. So we can make our points.
Agree to disagree.
Yes,
exactly.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just stating.
So let's move on. Let's move on, please.
Now the ADC, as it were, now we have big wigs like Atiku, who has been nursing ambition for over 20 years, almost 20 years now. And he's still in the party. And of course, from his body language, we know he's going to contest. Do you understand? And of course, if you look at everybody in that party that might probably want to nurse or come out as a flag bearer, Atiku seems to be the most experienced in terms of primaries and the rest of them. And that is why people are saying that, no, they should not make that mistake of allowing a northerner for now. Not fully whether it is the turn of the South to do their 8 years and then return the ticket back as it has always been. Do you understand? So now if Atiku, by any means possible, clinch that ticket, it's going to affect a lot of things. That is what they are trying to tell you there. That it's going to give Tinubu a just a very
landslide victory.
Landslide victory.
Honestly.
I'm telling you the truth. Right? But it's better to give a southerner and let him come on. Because now, what some people are just saying is anything just to remove the sitting government.
Anything, but you have to strategize very well.
I
think that is where you
that is from the South.
Yeah, that is where your own
point of argument wants to lead to. Yes, because we don't want to disrupt the system. Do you understand?
It's a gentleman agreement.
This gentleman agreement.
That
was the mistake that was made in PDP. Goodluck Jonathan was forced to come back again. So you understand. Once the ADC made that mistake of bringing in a northerner to fill in that position. That's why you see in Kano, when Obi went to Kano, you didn't hear shouts of Konkoso Obi. What we heard was Obi Konkoso, loudly being said by the Konkoso group. Do you understand? So although the Atiku group is still very strong and still has its influence, there's also some other groups that are the more educated group that are looking toward the dangers of distorting that gentleman agreement. Do you understand? And this gentleman agreement, the failure of the violation of that gentleman agreement,
it's going to give the ruling party a landslide.
Honestly speaking,
that's what we're on the same page.
The success of the
we're on the same page. Anything from, like I said,
so please
get a candidate anything from the South.
From the South, irrespective of who that.
And then look for somebody from the North.
Exactly.
And back it up.
Exactly.
That will give. So
I think where the major problem is now is between Obi and Goodluck Jonathan. Because I didn't see it anywhere written because I was busy throughout this period. There are some people are saying that the former president also joined ADC.
But the former president is not a member of ADC. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That I had people say
he came out to say he's not interested.
That's what I had from some.
Well, he's not a member. If he were to be a member of the ADC, perhaps the conspiracy or the rumor would have been stronger. But for now, he's not a member. Yes, we are just days before or weeks now before the primaries. From tomorrow, the parties will begin to sell.
The issue of Jonathan is, there's this issue of he has been sworn in twice. Sworn in is sworn in. There's a
if I remember, there are some constitutional something that has cleared that point. Do you understand? I remember there are so many constitutional sections that I've mentioned that those you cannot call them terms. The terms is those 8-year period that you will collect, that you will contest and then elect and then being sworn into power. Do you understand? It does not involve you inheriting your previous boss as the leader. Continuity. So I think
as a result of reduction of necessity.
But we know Nigerians now, they can always bring up something new. Even within the constitution.
Okay, all right.
Say that this section has been misinterpreted.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so we are done with the Delhi Independent for now. So please check out the Delhi Independent in your on the newsstands for you to check out all those juicy stories. So the last paper under review is sports. So let's quickly dive into that. The Sports Extra, courtesy of the Punch newspaper. Lookman scores the Madrid derby, and Awoni ends 56 days goal drought. Nigeria outclassed Ghana by 136 runs in cricket. And that's news coming from the world of cricket there. And United step up, Pugumere's chase. Chelsea offer Enzo new bumper contract. Okay. And of course, Osimhen undergoes scan on arm injury. Okay, so many juicy stories there in the world of sports. And to check out the Sports Extra this morning in any of the newsstands closer to you. So on this note, we've come to the end of the newspaper review, extensive one, of course, this morning. And we've really discussed a whole lot of things coming from the newspapers we've looked at this morning. So we're going for a quick break. But before we go for that break, please, we want you to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, and of course, like this video so that others can see our broadcast. So we want your support by subscribing to the channel and also liking our videos so that we can reach out to more people this morning and always right here. So we want to thank you for that. So we'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll dive into the first issue of the day. Don't touch the dial. Welcome back. Welcome back to the program P&B Morning Show on a Monday morning. So let's quickly dive into our first issue of the day. Nigeria to receive deported criminals and failed asylum seekers from the UK. Nigeria is once again at the center of a sensitive migration debate, as reports indicate that plans for the country to receive deported criminals and failed asylum seekers from the United Kingdom. While the move is being framed as part of bilateral cooperation on immigration control, it raises serious questions about national security, reintegration capacity, and the broader implications for Nigeria's already strained social systems. For many Nigerians, this development sparks concern over whether the country is being positioned as a dumping ground for individuals rejected elsewhere. It also brings into focus the responsibilities of government in protecting citizens, managing borders, and ensuring that any such agreement serves Nigeria's national interest rather than undermining it. And that is why we're looking at the topic this morning. I have Ibrahim Shaibu in the studio, and of course, Chidi Kenneth also in the studio. So, gentlemen, Nigeria has just recently signed a migration agreement with the United Kingdom. And this has actually caused, it's now causing debate. And the government has come out to clarify what the agreement is all about. It's a 12-page agreement, and we'll look into that. But first, let me ask for you guys' opinion. When you heard the news, what was your reaction?
I was disappointed, OJ. I have to say this straight on. I was so disappointed because, last week I was saying something about what benefits is the United Kingdom to Nigeria. Is that all they can do for us to give us condemned or prisoners and those who sorted for asylum? You don't need to seek for asylum. Asylum are those who try to say, okay, they came into the country because there was one or two issues in their own country. And if you go into a country as an asylum seeker, you may not be able to invite anybody, to come and visit you in that country because the country, it seems to be helping you out. That is the way it's been perceived. I have a friend who did that in a particular country, and up to today, he cannot even move his wife to that country. He cannot even apply for his wife to come and visit him. It's almost 10 years now. He can't. Because he came into the country as an asylum seeker. So you come in to say, oh, you want your wife to come in. You know, there are a lot of things you declare when you want to seek for asylum. Sometimes you even lie. A lot of the Nigerians lie because of the desperation to get a visa to go to another, what they call greener pasture. Now, looking at this agreement, I think, like you were reading sometimes, say it was shrouded under the idea of trying to, bilateral agreement. Is that the kind of bilateral agreement we should be talking about? I want us to see where UK as a government is, helping us out in, okay, now we've been going through insecurity. I don't think, apart from the American and then now that we're hearing France coming to sell, I think America did not sell to us. We have not had any meaningful assistance from the United Kingdom. And that's cause for serious worry. Coming to give us prisoners already, we have a lot of prisoners on ground already. Like a lot of people are already raising doors. Some are saying, what is going on? Is that the best the UK can do for us? Why not come out and say, okay, let's give us jets, give us certain things. Rather, we are, in fact, like I said, the money UK generates from Nigerians alone, only on education, tourism alone, is running to billions alone. I'm talking because I have participated in attempt to, to write their exams and whatever, IELTS and the rest of them. So I don't fancy it. I see it as something that is, they should be talking something that is laughable.
All right.
We should be looking at other better. We should be looking at better things.
Okay. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to accept deportees who are Nigerians or asylum seekers who are Nigerians from the UK?
Thank you very much. For me, what the government, UK government did, I think is okay for me for 2 or 3 reasons. First of all, this is what Nigeria as a country should have been doing also. But Nigeria has become a dumping ground for our borders are porous. Anybody from anywhere can just come into Nigeria and do whatever they like. Let me tell you something. In Kaduna, there's a place called Regasa. And there are so many people that are Nigerians from Niger or from Chad or from other African countries that even have voters card that they can go and vote. So when a country feels I can deport so people from so place, they have their own reasons to do that. You understand? And then I don't know why, you see, these asylum seekers, they are about 961 asylum seekers, and they fall under different categories. First of all, for you to become an asylum seeker, there are certain conditions you have to fulfill. And UK government is now saying those who have not fulfilled those conditions are those that are going to be deported. Not all asylum seekers. Do you understand? They categorize it. And then even those that are, for example, there are people whose documentation is not already completed. So you are given time to complete it. If you are unable to complete those necessary documentation for being an proper asylum seeker, up to the expiration of that particular time, you are going to be included in the list of the deportees. So when UK government said we are deporting Nigerians back, they know what they are saying. They have a reason.
Is that the best they can do for us now?
No, what do you want?
Then what do you want from UK?
This is the subject that we're discussing. See,
are they not our modern nation?
Your mother nation, so they should allow people who are not qualified to say that.
I'm not saying they should allow.
So go
I'm only saying that. I'm not saying
inshallah. Please not die. Allow me to lie before you bury me. Then again, see, there are another group of deportees. Those ones they said, see, they involve us those people with spouse visa, student visa, and one other category. This one they said, for as long as you can become compliant to the rules, we put you under radar. If you don't violate these rules, you will be allowed to remain. But they were also included in the list. So far, I think there are about 2,100 something already penciled down for deportation.
So these are people who went there on student visa.
Exactly.
And after schooling, they don't want to come back.
Yes. So they were told to do certain things, after which, if they have become compliant, if they have become compliant to those conditions they gave them, do you understand? They will remain, but they are also given period.
We're looking at our fragile economy, OJ.
Yes.
The economy as it is now, and this insecurity, you're already there. We don't think we need more of this. What we need is assistance, arms. UK is one of the world powers. I hope you know that.
You do.
So they should. There are better things they can. Well, we see
because they are one of the world powers. They should allow illegal.
They are like our mothers. OJ, let me tell you something.
So they should allow illegal.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Immigrants to remain their country.
OJ, let me tell you. Allegedly, countries like China, some of these white expatriates we see are men that are being sentenced in their countries. They just push them to some African countries.
You said allegedly, so you don't have proof.
I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming. Some of these expatriates, you see them coming over African countries, not even in Nigeria. Are men who they send them to go and serve their J term. Allegedly. OJ, this is not what we want to hear. Now, I hope you know information like this have a way of dealing greatly with our psyche as a nation. We are here trying to survive first, and the first thing our mother is telling us that we are going to send armed robbers that
we are saying asylum seekers are not criminals.
There's even a clause.
No, deportees are not criminals.
There are.
OJ,
There are
you see, there are categories of that.
Among them, there are criminals.
Yes, so there is there. OJ, hold on. I'm going to list out the whole thing now for as
there's high risk, there's medium risk, there's low risk.
No, deportees. Groups. Hold on. There are people among the deportees.
What are the reasons for deporting them?
Hold on. Among the deportees are people who have overstayed their visas. Are you getting it? They've not sentenced them to prison or anything. No, they are not criminals, but they overstayed their visas.
So go back home.
They haven't renewed.
Yes, go back home. You say
now we have the next category.
You understand? Then also deportees, someone then under that category, someone who has served his jail term, has served his jail term and has to be deported. That is the punishment. You committed crime, they sentence you to jail, you have sent your jail, you have served your jail term. They don't want you to stay in their society.
In fact, this
go back to your. That is where the conspiracy is now coming out, where some are saying, okay. This might benefit, maybe that is what we should discuss now. This might be a kind of ploy to bring back the former Senate president, Ike Ikwerumadu.
There are drug traffickers.
Yes, because he's in prison there. So it might fall into this category as can you deport this guy back home? Let him come back home and maybe complete.
Probably this whole idea was framed and targeted at.
That is the conspiracy also there.
The conspiracy.
Yeah, you understand. So
it's looking broader.
You see, so it is not. So the deportee is not that it must be a criminal and all that. Now, let me quickly go through the explanation the government now give to clarify the perception about this agreement. Now, on the issue of the deportees, according to the agreement, the deportees must be only Nigerians. They must be what? Only Nigerians. Now, because concerns have been raised by the opposition, by some people that, UK, like what? I think that is even the line there.
Because America wants looking for a place where they
don't dump everybody. So that is the fear. So
I'm also that OJ.
Yes.
I think little much as I know.
Yes.
I have not seen any serious economic benefits Nigeria is benefiting from UK. Much as they benefit.
You may not know.
No, not say I may not know.
Mind you, all the oil companies in Nigeria, most of the oil British firms.
What are they doing for us?
They are the one exploring this thing now. Are they not the one exploring your
everywhere they are exploring that oil?
We'll look for a particular time to discuss this.
Don't worry. For you to know the benefit of UK.
There is no benefit, OJ.
A lot of Nigerians are there. So work ahead. They allow you to be working in their countries. Is it not benefit?
In their country, in my country.
Do you know the
have you seen the communities where this?
Do you know what they are doing?
OJ,
working there and sending money.
Excuse me, have you seen the communities where these oil companies are situated?
Okay,
no development there.
So let's not deviate, please. Now, the next part of the agreement is that before now, if you are a deportee, once you are arrested from whether in your workplace, wherever they arrest you, you understand? Whatever you wear, whatever you have,
from there straight to Nigeria,
straight to wherever they will deport you down. But this agreement says that no, if you are part of the deport, whatever, they arrest you, and you will know that you will be deported, but they'll give you 7 days to go and prepare.
Put your house in order.
You will go home, but you know that you are under the list.
I think
so. Hold on. then your belongings that you legally you use your money to you go and pack your things, your belongings, everything.
Close your bank account.
You can go and close your bank account, your belongings, your package, your luggage.
This is not bad.
You take your luggage, so it's part of the deal. So is this not good?
No, excuse me.
Yes.
Compared to other countries, especially in some of these Arab nations, this is better.
Which one is better?
The one UK is offering is better. Because if you see the kind of draconian kind of way Nigerians are being treated in some countries.
Exactly.
At some point they even kill them without even consulting the Nigerian embassy.
Worst of all these countries is Libya.
Most of the Arab nations do it. They do it. I say it with every sense of authority. They do it.
They make Nigerians,
they kill Nigerians.
Kill them at will.
Kill them at will.
When UK said I'm deporting your people, see, for now, the ones that are to be deported first, they are the ones that fall under the convicted or criminal group. People that are fraudsters, drug offenders, and then violent, or those who are perpetrating violence.
So they want to send you away. They don't want you to say we have served your prison, then you want to remain there.
Tarnish our image there. They went to a foreign country and then tarnish our image there. So if they are our brothers, please come to them, bring them back to Nigeria.
So this is more or less the correctional center. They should come here and correct themselves.
They are Nigerians, citizens.
I know, but they should come back to Nigeria.
So the UK is saying,
go back to your country.
Go back to your country. We don't want you here again.
I don't see anything wrong here.
Yes.
But it's okay because
I think the one that I'm even concerned about is those ones that are those are people that are with pending immigration cases, because some people have already reapplied to upgrade their visas, so they should be given time. Pending when those visas will either be approved or not approved. When it is approved, then they have the right to stay there, like you said, because Britain is our mother country. They colonize us. We are still looking up to them.
But the mother is also saying that the milk is about to finish.
The milk will not finish, because even our bread that they are taking has not yet finished. Just like you said. So the milk should not finish.
In fact,
if you are going there, as you are now, if you can go to Britain legally, do your paperwork, and they know that you are going there to do something wonderful as a student, or as a lecturer, or as anything, they will not deny you visa.
That's what.
But once the visa expires,
yes, and you have to renew.
If you don't renew it, you have no business staying in their country. This is a responsible country.
That is what they are
Nigeria.
saying.
But are we looking at the fragile nature of the
example that I was giving you, during last election, stupid Nigerian people, they were trying to beat a Nigerian. Yes, of course, they want to beat them.
We don't need to use that kind of language.
They came to vote, and they are trying to influence the direction of the vote. That anybody that's not going to vote a particular party has no business in casting their votes here.
We need a stranger in our country.
I'm telling you,
because it's immigration that is not working now.
The immigration, they came to your country,
and now they want to
accept voters, and they are trying to show that this country, they have more right than you. This crisis was actually.
And that brings me to the question I want to.
So when Britain is talking like that,
have we had situations where we also deported criminals, convicted criminals?
Yes, we did.
Outside Nigeria.
That is the agreement. The agreement is even here too. If you have any British person who has been convicted or whatever, you can also. That is what the agreement is talking about.
Okay, in my lifetime, I remember this was done twice. I think one during Shagari and the other one during Buhari as a military leader. You know, that time Ghana must go. Do you know why they are saying Ghana must go? It was the time that wherever you go, Ghanaians are feel all over the place. Place in those bread factory, fast food, restaurant are all taken over by Ghana.
At least I grew up in that era.
So at that time, the government realized that Ghanaians are taking over.
My teachers in primary school then were Ghanaians.
But nobody beat them like South Africa are beating Nigeria and killing them and tormenting them. They just said you are given so period of time within which get yourself prepared, carry whatever you can, and go back to your country.
But some are saying now the reverse is the case. Yes, go back.
When a country does this, I have no problem with that country. That is what a responsible country should be doing. Watch your country, watch your porous borders, take control, take charge of your country.
It's your people first.
It's your people first. Our own is not MAGA. Our own is Naga. Yes, our own should be Naga. So I have no problem with British government, with the UK saying, Nigeria, go back to your country.
Okay, so let's check out more of the what the agreement is talking about. Now, issues, some people are raising issues. Okay, how do you identify a Nigerian? Okay, a Ghanaian may claim that he's from Nigeria because he doesn't want to go back home. You understand? And may claim that, I'm from Nigeria. So how do we identify whether you are a true Nigerian or not? Now, the agreement says there will be proper check of individuals who will be deported, whether they are Nigerian. Because they ask, okay, from which, if I say from you are from Benue, for instance, which village, you understand, questions will be asked to really identify. So if you are not a true Nigerian, you not know all this. So they say proper check will be made and all that. So it's still part of it, so that those that will be deported will be Nigerians.
As Nigerians now, there are certain things you will do that you will know that if you are a Nigerian from whatever part of Nigeria you are, once a person is put in front of you, you discuss with him for 5 minutes, you will know that he's a Nigerian, irrespective of where he comes from. You see all this stupid shakara we are doing in Nigeria just because we are in Nigeria that we are doing it. But abroad, we appear more knitted and coordinated and together.
United.
Yes, united. So if anybody is coming within, you know that this is
about how to identify Nigerians.
Yes.
You know, I have funny enough, I have siblings who are there, and my sister will always tell me, if you see a Nigerian, even the way he is, let me use the word doings, there's this behavior, there's this aura, there's this charisma an average Nigerian carries when he enters a place.
Honestly, wherever he comes from. Amongst
all the black African countries, if you see a particular Nigerian, even the way he behaves and the way he talks, you will know. And if you're a Nigerian, if you see another Nigerian, there's a way you will know. Because we seem to behave
we have a unique way
of doing things. You know, even when we enter to clubs and parties, and that's anywhere we enter,
and you will know the region the person comes from.
Exactly, yes. You will know.
This one is from north, from south,
So yes. They just categorize it in Nigerians, northerner, southerner.
Nigerians abroad, one, they are very united. Two, they speak their language very well.
But in this case, we are talking about maybe perhaps criminals, and who is under restriction. Okay, where are you from? Because of shame that will follow, and maybe it's a Ghanaian, for instance, or a Beninois, or a Beninois. We have a close boundary, or a Cameroonian.
Particularly we have a Yoruba, and the Ghanaians and Nigerians that speak outside
that we claim to be Nigerian. You understand?
But there are areas in Nigeria that you cannot really fake the identity. Let me give an example of the southeastern. Where I come from, the east, you can't really fake your identity.
Look,
if you say you are from the
southeast, Cameroonian can fake. Look, let me tell you.
What part of the southeast?
The Anglophone part of Cameroon. You understand? Have some semblance of tradition.
English speaking.
Yes, even in music and the English speaking part of Cameroon. You understand? So
I'm telling you now that we from the southeast. The first thing they teach you as a child is your root. No matter where you grew up, you might not be able to speak the language, but you will know. That is when you ask an Igbo man, what is your name? He doesn't just tell you name. If he has a title, you add it.
Don't make it exclusive.
I think
don't make it look like
that interview you made reference to.
It's not exclusive, but I'm telling you.
Can show
if that is your, I say, don't make it look as if it is. That is it.
It is difficult
I've stayed in Kano. I've stayed in Kano, in Sabongeri to be precise, Enugu Road for years, and I have a lot of Igbo
Cameroonians.
No, Igbo people from his side who are more they identify themselves as a northerner. You understand? Than Easterner. They are Igbo, not that they are hiding their identity, they are not Igbo, they are Igbo.
But they identify
they hardly could even go home. So this thing you are talking about.
You don't understand where I'm going to. You are totally deflecting from what I'm saying.
No,
I'm talking of that the Igbo race.
Yes.
An Igbo man is one of the tribes in Nigeria that you can treat. No matter how long he stays in that Kano you're looking at. When the chips are done, they can trace his route.
Of course, no.
So a lot of excuse me. So, yes. Let me clear you very well. I didn't want to say this, but now you try to push me to say it. There's some part of Nigeria, the part of Nigeria that people just come and tell you, I'm from here. You can't trace the route. Not the southeast. I bet to say, I'm saying
if you mean it, there's nobody. If a careful diligence will be taken to identify where you come from, you can be traced. If maybe some people just want to make it,
from part of the country.
You see this Auchi in Edo State.
Yes.
This Auchi in Edo State. There are people from Auchi that belong even to the royal household. They can still trace back their great parents, ancestors in Kano,
yes,
Jigawa, and Katsina. There are
Yes.
some of them like that.
Mm-hmm.
They still have their relation in the north, but they are from Edo State and they are Auchi.
Yes.
You understand? That is to tell you that no matter how deep you go anywhere, you still know
You
where
still
you're
know,
from.
but when
But that's what I'm telling you.
Yes.
That as big as there's a particular clergyman in the United
very
States,
conscious of their
very popular. TD Jakes.
TD, yeah?
TD Jakes.
What happens?
Yes, in America.
What happened?
I was there in Nigeria where he
That
traced
black
his roots
church
down to
minister.
Enugu State. And what am I trying to tell you?
Is it through DNA testing?
No
or what?
DNA. You are not from the southeast. I'm speaking as a
What do you want?
Southeasterner.
Am I not in Nigeria? Do you want to teach? Do you want to lecture me on the southeast?
Yes, of course. I'm from the
You
southeast.
cannot lecture me on the southeast.
Are you from the southeast?
You understand? You can't.
forget.
Are you from the
There is no
southeast?
part of Nigeria I don't know, and their way of doing.
No, you're not from there.
You understand?
Okay, you might know, but you're not from there.
Mind you, I come from Benue State or Pok local government with a boundary with Enugu State.
That doesn't make you
Fuka local
No,
government.
that's not how long you say
So don't tell me I
I'm a
don't.
soldier.
You understand?
Excuse me.
Thank you.
No, it's not
You
Igbo.
cannot tell me.
You cannot come and talk about my place where I know I asked my sister. Okay, where in Igbo land do you know?
I know every part of Enugu State.
That's not so.
To begin with.
We have a topic.
You don't know.
We have a topic to address.
Yes.
Nigeria to receive deported criminals and failed asylum seekers.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
that is
So we can identify who is in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good. The argument
The
here.
interview that you made reference to.
Yes.
Because honestly speaking, once somebody is arrested and taken to the Nigerian
Embassy.
yes,
That's a way to
you only need to sit down with him for 5 minutes. They can identify. You cannot fake it.
Yes.
Actually, seeker. You can't.
Wherever you are.
If you are a Ghanaian, they will know.
Yes.
They may not even know where you are coming from. But if you are not a Nigerian, they will easily identify that this guy.
First thing first, we are not in Nigeria.
Even if you are holding Nigerian documentation,
Yes.
they will still find out that you are not a Nigerian.
Yes.
Because you will have to tell them where you're from.
Yes.
Your clan.
You're
Not just local government.
Not even clan.
your
Not
state.
even clan. First, your state. Are you from? Like for me now,
Eh.
I can claim Kaduna. I can claim Borno.
Mm.
So either one I claim,
Yes.
they will not tell me, okay, which part of Kaduna state or which part of Borno state I can say it.
Mm.
Definitely within that place, they will find somebody that can be able to speak one or two of my language.
Yes.
Or they have or a device. They will now put a device that will say something in my language, and they will ask me to now what did so say. Already I have this translation.
Yes.
I can be able to say it. You understand?
So there's different
apart
means
from that,
to find out.
there are
That's what
even
I'm
some
telling
body
you.
language, there are some behaviors that Nigerians do, whether you're from the south or from the northwest or from the east, there are certain things that we as Nigerians do.
Remember,
Some of us are not even conscious
excuse
that we are
me.
doing
Remember I
something.
said something few weeks ago here. Those who are living in the IDP camps in the last 500 years will tell you they're from that place.
That's 500 years. But now, what stops the government from?
There's a place called Aguilera no Mulere in Anambra State. Well, how did they come? How did they become Aguilera no Mulere? Go and read history. These are settlers. Now, from Kogi State. And today they are in Anambra State. What am I saying? Movement is one of the wonders of the world. Movements. Do you understand? You know, but however, just like when we get to the case of Ozoro community, you would be interested to know that Ozoro.
Please, let's not go.
Wait, I'm coming.
We'll treat that. So they don't go.
I'm trying to get
drop
to
the
don't
go
gun.
there.
Please,
I'm not jumping the
Yeah,
gun.
Okay.
I'm linking it somehow.
Yes.
I'm only citing it, making references. I'm only trying to tell you that there are places, there are parts of this country that does not joke with roots,
Your lineage.
They don't joke with it.
All over the world.
No, there's some part of the country, like you said something about Kaduna State, that there are some people who are even there holding, let me use the word, they hold ground to even decide. In some part of the country, it can't happen, like some part of Yoruba land, like Abeokuta. They trace your route. A stranger cannot go there no matter how long you stay and hold that kind of ground because they don't joke with route there. You understand? They trace it down to 3,000 years back.
So
Do you understand me?
Yeah, so we
the
know.
places like Benin, Edo State, they don't joke with it.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, the agreement basically will last for 5 years and is renewable for another 5 years. So
Maybe OJ will be in London and probably
It will also be gradual.
yeah,
Not 1,000 in a time,
yes.
maybe in 100.
So looking at the pros and cons of this agreement is that there's still grounds for appeal, maybe listed to be deported, and the agreement says a deportee can still appeal. You understand? You can appeal your deportation, and so once you are not a criminal, if just okay, maybe you overstayed your visa, or maybe you now claim that no, I've stayed there for 20. There are people who have stayed in America or UK for 20 years, yet they'll be listed on other people that will be deported. So you have to prove that, look, I've lived all my life here. You want to take me to? I'm in Nigeria. I'm not denying the fact I'm in Nigeria.
UK children or UK
parents.
There
are certain things you can appeal and also all these things.
Let me also interested to know that if you have overstayed your welcome in some countries, and also look at your history during that period that you stayed. If you have a very clean record, they can reverse
very productive.
That is where the appeals come. Maybe
they can reverse your.
Maybe you came to the country illegally. You've been dodging authorities up and down, and now you have spent 20 years. So you have already all these things.
You never committed any offense.
No, 20 years you are crime free, and there's certain things like in Canada, if you come in through certain visas, like visiting visa, you are not allowed to walk.
This has a very long.
I have Canadian citizens in my family. You are not allowed to walk. So if they bring you there as a visiting visa, you are not supposed to walk. So some Nigerians, what they do is that they sneak in out of in the night to go and do night jobs, where nobody will monitor you or whatever, and that's how they've been surviving. So if you are due for deportation in some countries, and at the long run they discover that your records, your stay, you'll be able to conduct yourself in a manner that is worth keeping you. They can reverse your deportation and then allow you to stay.
That is, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
The records are there.
The
records are there.
That does not mean that you have not committed crime. But if they want to consider, depending on the authorities,
how light the crime is.
No, you've not committed crime. You came illegally. But since you came, nobody caught you. You have no criminal case, this and that, and you've stayed 20 years. You feel that this person have stayed in the society for 20 years. And you cannot make your case. And that is exactly what the appeal is talking about. You've already integrated yourself with the society.
Lawfully.
Lawfully, you have no issue.
No abiding.
But the fact remains that you came illegally.
Exactly.
Then you may be reconsidered. Okay, if I go back home, how am I going to start? Well, already you have good behavior. So some of these things can be considered. So
I think the attention greatly now is on those
criminals,
fraudsters, drug offenders,
so-called asylum seekers.
Even the asylum seekers we are talking about.
Yes, it is categorized.
The decision will change. For example, if you are able to do the necessary thing and then your asylum application has been granted, but if it is pending, they will not look at it that, look, okay, we cannot approve this. Maybe the reasons we gave is no longer tenable.
Yeah. For instance,
they will reject your application.
Somebody from Imo State, your state now, will now go to the UK embassy and say, I'm seeking for asylum because there is crisis in Imo State.
And there is no crisis.
They
will have taken the whole of
I don't know why you are using my state as an example, OJ. Please, please go forward, OJ. I think you better use Benue State.
So these are some of the things. Some people would now go and say, some people from Imo State will go and say, there is Boko Haram.
I don't know what is
there is Boko Haram crisis in Nigeria.
Mr. Barry, what's this OJ and Imo State?
No, this one now you and him.
All right, so we're going for a quick break, and of course, when we return, we'll dive into our second issue of the day. Don't touch the dial. Right, we are back, and this is a P&B morning show, reaching you live from the nation's capital. Now, let's quickly dive into our second issue this morning. Yes, what was meant to be a cultural celebration in Delta State has now sparked national outrage following disturbing reports of widespread sexual violence during a local festival. Graphic videos and eyewitness accounts have painted a troubling picture of lawlessness, where a young women were allegedly harassed, assaulted, and stripped in broad daylight. The incident has raised urgent questions about public safety, accountability, and the failure of authorities to protect citizens during major gatherings. As anger grows across the country, many are asking, how did a festival turn into a scene of abuse? And who must be held responsible? So we're looking at Delta Festival of Sexual Violence this morning. Ibrahim Shaibu is still in the studio, and Chidi Kenneth is also here in the studio. Now, gentlemen, how did you guys receive the disturbing reports of what happened in Delta?
Okay,
Zoro, to be precise.
OJ, let me speak because I think I share some form of relationship with that zone. Okay, like I said before, like my uncle is married from what they call the Emevo. Emevo is a locality near Ozoro. Now, Ozoro Kingdom has its headquarters at the northern part of Isoko, and it was carved from the Benin Kingdom under the leadership of Ororo Ojiso. There was a battle then. I need to give you a brief history about the Ozoro community. And the word Ozoro means there is fear. That's the meaning of Ozoro. There is fear, because the Oputa ran away when his mother had a fight with a brother who happens to be Ogodomigodo. Then in the Benin Kingdom, that was about the 7th century, 600 to 618 BC. And he now landed and ran with his wife called Ozoro, and then named where he settled after the name of his wife called Ozoro, meaning there is fear. What is the fear? Of course, the fear of being killed. He ran away from the Benin Kingdom. So the Ozoro people are a true extension of the Benin Kingdom, as it were. And then the kingdom, of course, the Benin Kingdom was headed by Ojiso Ororo, known as Ogodomigodo. Now, this is the history of that place. Now, the culture in itself has never been this violent, or has never come out to turn out this way. This is the first time we're having it, like this. It's a culture that...
Are we sure it's the first time? Maybe it has not been the front burner. Maybe it has been happened.
Well, was something report reaching us is that probably when there was no advent of
technology,
yes, it has been happening. But now that we have the social media everywhere, I think we can say this is the first time we're seeing it. And it is so, this is not the only culture that has a lot of barbaric activities.
Okay, so before we go into that and Mala Ibrahim talk, I don't know if our producer can quickly tell us what put a graphic text on what this the festival is all about. Okay, okay. Now this is it. Now the festival is all about. This is the Ozoro Festival, specifically called the Aluedu Festival.
Yes.
Okay, it's traditionally an ancient fertility rite. An ancient fertility rite. It is aimed at invoking blessings for children and prosperity for married individuals seeking to conceive. Okay. However, this year, like you were trying to raise, gained negative neutrality due to widespread harassment of women, leading to AIDS condemnation and arrest. So what we're meant to understand is that the festival is a 7-day festival, and it is meant for women who are married and cannot conceive. So during that festival, blessings are made, sands pour on their abdomen or belly, and not so that they can conceive. They'll be able to conceive.
Well, that is what.
So now it has now turned to another thing else.
Well, OJ, you see, and let me make you understand that culture is not meant for culture. Is not man was meant for culture. Culture was not meant for man. If I got it correctly, these are the culture. Evolves. The way in my place, there's a culture. There's a festival we call it Cage. Back in those days, serious sacrifices have been made, including the sacrifice of human blood. the masquerade will come out to make you see all kinds of barbaric arts. But now all those things have, faded away gradually. Things are evolving. But coming to look at this very festival, one will begin to wonder, are they going backward or they are progressing? When somebody will come out openly, have you seen the video? Assaulting a woman and making love to a woman in the public place. And
is it because it is supposedly supposed to be called Fidelity Festival?
Yes,
so fidelity now sexual
you now personalize somebody's wife in the name of fidelity.
In one of the reports I saw concerning this subject, it said that women were forewarned not to
come out
for fear of being harassed or molested. But for me,
so that means
this in itself, for me, this in itself is the problem.
Okay. Is that even gender sensitive?
Because see, I see this thing as maybe a cultural practice that is misused or abused, where you make abuse to hide behind a tradition. Why can you tell a woman not to come out? That if we can allow a woman to hide before they will be safe, then this in itself shows that law and order has broken down. You understand what I'm saying? The society in itself has not taken, they know that this is an annual event that takes place every year in, year out. Why can't we take the precautive measures, the proactive measure of ensuring that the right security has been put in place? The police came and made arrests after the damage has been done. And we know that in every same country or place, such an occasion where an event where you will bring people together, at least up to 20 or 30 or 40, you need to inform the authorities that we are going to participate in social event for social times and social days. They did not do that. The police were not there. There was no security put in place. You just hid behind the fact that you have already for one woman. When I read that report, it was very, very insulting. Why will we say that a woman must hide for them to be safe?
But the reason why they have to say that, Mr. Brian, they say culture is a way and life of a particular people.
I'm not saying the culture is bad.
That's culture.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Have you gone through the coronation of the Oba of Benin? What it takes to become an Oba?
I'm coming.
Now, have you also seen the culture, the processes that it brings about that brings about the Oni of Ife? Because I heard you mention the police culture in some areas. These cultures don't subject themselves to foreign procedures. In this country.
We refuse to allow culture to be regularized.
Yes,
we are a society of educated people. We have rules. We have
constitution. The likes of Wolishenka, that became husband by Wolishenka. When the Wolishenka went abroad and came back, after many years in UK, came back and said that even the white man's culture to an extent is barbaric.
Used to be.
They
are regularized all over the world. In every single society, culture.
Like you say, it has evolved.
If we don't regularize
for good,
culture,
not for bad.
We become like apes. We have to regularize culture. There are so many unpleasant things.
We still have barbaric cultures even in South America.
That.
Even in Southern America.
Are you justifying what happened?
I'm not justifying.
Okay, that's what you are implying.
No.
That's what you are implying.
I'm not saying that. No.
Okay, then allow us to talk. Yes. We have to regularize our culture. Still, I just, when I was researching on this topic, I found out that up to now there are societies whereby when a woman dies, she's expected to go and spend some hours on this some days within the graveyard with your husband. This is barbaric.
To show that
you have to
drink the water that was used to bathe the dead body.
That is what we are saying. Yes. We have to regularize certain things. Culture is good, but there are certain things that we do culturally that has no business in existence now. What can I do?
You said culture is not man-made culture.
It's man-made
culture for man. I also started an example that in my place there's a festival called Ikeji globally, worldwide. Go and ask any Igbo man at all. Just mention Ikeji, the New Yam Festival. It's a very big one. I think it's every April. This April now. Everybody all over the world will come back. Back in the days there were some serious diabolic and fetish things that were done that was barbaric, but now we don't really do it that much because things have changed. I am in support of that. However, there was a particular place you mentioned that I was trying to relate that certain rules also are still not changeable when it comes to this festival. Like for example, don't come out. I think there's some places where if a particular masquerade wants to come out, they will even tell you if you are within this age below, don't come out.
Is it because women will be sexualized? No. It's because it is forbidden.
No, like
in my culture, I also have in my place a certain masquerade that if the masquerade wants to come out, a certain that will say, and it is always in the night, not daytime, that women are not expected to come out because the culture forbid women from seeing the masquerade. It is like that, but it's not because of sexual activity.
No,
but in this case,
why we are making this in serious?
Yes.
What am I trying to say, Eugene? You did see, my point is simple. This is one out of many that have not been seen. Now, this is sexual assault. What of murder? I have seen what of murder, ritual exercises where people are being sacrificed for culture. I was watching a television program, I think of many years ago, where a particular masquerade was called. They were talking about the masquerade, he was dancing, and they were trying to describe the power that masquerade carried and what it takes for anybody to flaunt that masquerade. You could see, if we must modernize this culture, it has to cut across so many places. A lot of, OJ, this is rape we're talking about now. We have other more dangerous barbaric activities.
Yeah, we know.
So generally, my call is that most of all these our cultural activities, everything should be reviewed.
That is Look, let's narrow our attention to what we have at hand. The call to change culture or other aspect of our culture can come next time. We can have a time
when it comes to the social media.
But we are discussing this very issue now. This very issue whereby a culture that was meant for fidelity of women has now turned to something different that has disgraced the community. Now, if you type Uzoro in the next 100 years on the internet, it is this. You have disgraced the community.
Those who want to
hold on. You have disgraced the community. You have disgraced the local government. You have disgraced this culture has disgraced the state, even and Nigeria at large. Because for a medium like BBC and other international medium to cash in into it, because it became an issue of raping of women on daylight. I mean, in daylight, you understand? Harassment of women, videos there, evidence there.
This has brought to the fore two unpleasant situations.
So why should a culture that is meant for a specific reason now turn to a culture where a lot of people will be waiting for that period to happen, so that a woman they cannot have access to a guy who is looking after a woman. Opportunity now ahead to sexually. That is what has happened.
And the way you are talking, it seems to me that you were actually there. But let me that is not beside the point at the moment. The point there is that in as much as we condemn it, is wrong. My only take is that I just hope other culture, other areas, other clans will take a leave, and the Nigerian police is also looking into it, and our justice system is also looking at these things. Because I can tell you, OJ, today is Ozoro, tomorrow it can be another community. Who knows what is going? Because if we begin to go far and deeper into other cultural activities going around the country, even in Africa, we have a lot of similar things like this, that has not come out to the open glare. Thank God for this Ozoro that has what we call the language that has busted. A lot, OJ.
Now, do these communities deserve to have education centers?
Yes, they do.
Do they deserve?
Of course they do.
Do they deserve to have this kind of community? Do they deserve?
Judging from what happened.
Do they deserve to have a school? Because now students are running away from the community. They have a tertiary institution there. I think a polytechnic also.
It's a university.
Yes,
Southern something university.
You understand? Now, according to the community members, they are now accusing some of the students to have participated in what happened, participated in the crime.
And now, then the victims also.
The victims are students.
Please allow me to
go ahead,
make a statement or two. You see, in the first place, the situation that these children were being warned, the women had been warned not to appear in the first place, is very, very insulting. It's very, very insulting because it created a feeling of shifting responsibility from the perpetrators to the victims. We have already warned you, and then you came out and this thing happened. Now, this aside, it also brings to the fore breakdown of security and policing. Just like I mentioned earlier on. Once an event like this is supposed to be taking place in a particular place, there should be adequate security arrangement to be put in place before this happens. If for a society that accommodates a university in the
the society is a civilized society.
It should be.
And some of the women interviewed, exactly, it should be a civilized, it should be a civilized community. Some of the women said they did not even fully understand the implication of the announcement. Some did not even know the context in which the announcement was made. And some even denied not hearing anything about being warned. So they went out. You can understand. So publicity was not actually rampant. It didn't reach a lot of people. It didn't reach a lot of people.
But the concerned one will be asking, prior to this time, has it been like that?
It appears to have been like that. It's just that, like you said, thank God, this year's event was exposed.
Who knows
as a result of technology. Now you are harassing women, raping women on this.
Very embarrassing.
Yes, and you are now recording.
Do you know the joy in all these things? OJ, I can assure you that other communities will have more barbaric, worse things than this in the name of culture. I hope you know there are some places where women are still being circumcised up to today. They go to their brother and cut it at age 20. So there are a lot of barbaric things going on out there that it calls for serious attention now. If we must review all these things that are, dehumanized, that is reducing our human values, we should go into it now. This is Ozoro. Let me give you an example. I went to bury at Emevo, 2002. My brother's wife, Barrister Barrow, of blessed memory. And when we got there, we were on the convoy coming. The first thing that greeted us that they were chased with cutlass. I was a student
in that same Ozoro.
Emevo is close to Ozoro.
Okay.
They are all of Isoko. The Yoruba-speaking part of Delta State. We were chased with cutlass. I jumped out of the coaster bus, ran. The only person that came down and stood was my father, my late father now. He's late. And they saw this white hair. The youth became calm. And he was talking to them and calmed them down. Before they could accept the dead body from us, we paid through our nose. And even after that...
Is it as a result of culture?
Yes.
Yeah, so what
they warned him not to marry across the bridge. They warned her not to marry across the bridge. That their culture does not favor marriages across the bridge. Across the means Igbos.
Okay.
So that
and then even when they were burying her...
It's a very violent...
Even when they were burying, they opened the casket and they put the cutlass inside the casket and said, go and revenge and kill whoever killed you. They believe she was killed. So you see, this is just different barbaric cultures everywhere. And that has affected... Do you know there are places in Nigeria that you will bring development, you will not... There are certain things you must do. If not, you will not construct that road.
We've had one in, I think Abuja here.
I've seen one in
a particular community where this...
I am myself. You're talking of Kogi State.
Hold on, I say Abuja. I'm talking of Abuja. I'm calling it Kogi. It's Kogi not far from Abuja. I want to make an instance in our own environment. You understand? This activist, very dark man, the Shisha,
very dark man.
Yes, wanted to build a borehole in one community here in Abuja, and the community said that they have to make sacrifice. They have to make sacrifice first before he can build the borehole in that community.
And
after he has brought the equipment,
sacrifice
then he asked them how much. They were mentioning a lot of money. I said, I'm here on a humanitarian ground
to help the community.
Yeah, to help the community to dig the borehole. I said, I must make a sacrifice. And that's how they left the project. Like you said, that's what communities, you have to do all
in the name of culture.
In the name of culture.
I have seen where the community in Kogi State...
we still have to come back to what I said. We need to regularize our cultures. There are things that we used to do 100 years past that are no longer tenable
now.
Today. Like he made reference of some people, you made reference of burying a woman in the grave for a few days or a few hours, so that she will at least absolve herself from the fact that she is not involved in his death. There are communities that do funny things. There are even communities that if the husband dies, his brother has to marry inherit the wealth. What kind of nonsense is it?
Mm.
We need to bring. We start with the softer ones to regularize the softer one, and the most difficult and complex one will now visit them as a matter of law.
Yes.
Do you understand? But for us to say like this,
one of the situations whereby a king dies, they will not announce the death of that king until they get a particular number of heads before that king will be buried.
I think
Like,
Southwest are very cultural
like
people.
These are cultures.
Yorubas, Abi. So at least now
They will not announce it. They will tell you he's sleeping.
You have got to Johnny.
Then they will now scout. Some of them will say 7 heads. Some will say 9 heads. That will escort the king. There is a particular throne in this country where, as soon as the king dies, there's what they call Amoiku or something. Somebody, the person, he must die with the king. Go. So when he's alive,
communities
so
that
there are
are
cultures that were, we see these things happen. We see these things happen.
Okay.
I went to a place in Kogi, sorry before we close, and they wanted to put up a network mast, and they told them they don't need it. And the company went there to force themselves to put it. I'm not telling you to joke. I saw it with my eyes. I went there, they went to show me. I don't know if they finished and worked today. And then the company went there to do, by force. The slap that they gave the engineer that climbed that mast. The face got swollen like this.
So that is sometimes culture brings underdevelopment on communities.
Yes.
So these are something that we should, look into in the future. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show today. Yes, let the discussion continue.
Yes.
I know we've not really
culture and underdevelopment some other time.
Yes, so we've not really, exhaust this topic. There's a lot of things about why some cultures bring underdevelopment and all that.
It doesn't speak well of us as civilized people,
and all that, and especially where women will be subjected to this kind of situation as a result of culture. It's uncalled for. So this is where we draw the curtain on this program, P&B Morning Show for today, Monday, 23 or 23rd day in the month of March. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Yes, thank you
for having us.
Okay, Kenneth and Ibrahim Shaibu. Let's do it again tomorrow, and of course, we'll surely bring you more talking points affecting us as people. God bless you. I'm Omike Joseph Matthew. Bye bye.